Welcome to my YouTube channel. Focus is a 2015 American crime comedy drama starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie. The film follows the thrilling and dangerous world of con artists, deception, and mind games. The story begins with Nicky Spurgeon, a seasoned con man played by Will Smith. He's smooth, clever, and always one step ahead. Nicky meets Jess, played by Margot Robbie, a beautiful but inexperienced grifter. At first, Jess tries to scam Nicky, but he quickly sees through her trick. Instead of rejecting her, Nicky decides to take her under his wing, teaching her the art of professional deception. Soon, Jess becomes part of Nicky's crew, and together they pull off daring scams in New Orleans. From pickpocketing crowds to high-stakes cons, the chemistry between Nicky and Jess grows stronger. But Nicky has one rule: never get emotionally attached. Just as their romance deepens, he suddenly cuts ties with her and disappears, leaving Jess heartbroken. 3 years later, fate brings them together again in Buenos Aires. This time, Nicky is working on a massive con involving motorsports and millions of dollars. But Jess isn't the same innocent girl anymore. She's more confident, more mysterious, and hiding secrets of her own. What follows is a dangerous game of trust, betrayal, and double crosses, where neither Nicky nor Jess knows who is playing whom. The film is full of twists and surprises, keeping the audience guessing until the very end. It explores how manipulation, love, and greed can blur the line between trust and betrayal. Will Nicky and Jess truly outsmart the world, or will their feelings for each other destroy the con? Focus is stylish, slick, and entertaining, with Will Smith delivering his trademark charm and Margot Robbie stealing every scene with her brilliance. It's a story about deception where the biggest trick might just be love itself.
Focus is a 2015 American crime comedy drama film written and directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. It stars Will Smith as a seasoned con artist who becomes romantically involved with an aspiring grifter, played by Margot Robbie. Rodrigo Santoro, Gerald McCraney, and Adrian Martinez appear in supporting roles. Focus. Theatrical release poster. Directed by Glenn Ficarra, John Requa. Written by Glenn Ficarra, John Requa. Produced by Denise Di Novi. Starring Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Rodrigo Santoro, Gerald McCraney. Cinematography, Xavier Pérez Grobet. Edited by Jan Kovac 1. Music by Nicky. Production companies: Rat Pack Dune Entertainment, Di Novi Pictures, Zoftig Films. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. Release dates: February 11, 2015 London. February 27, 2015, United States. Running time: 105 minutes. 2. Country: United States. Language: English. The screenplay was developed by Ficarra and Requa, who previously collaborated on Crazy, Stupid Love, 2011. Filming took place in New Orleans, Buenos Aires, and New York City between September and December 2013. The film features themes of deception, trust, and manipulation within the world of high-stakes con artistry. Focus premiered at the TCL Chinese Theater on February 24, 2015, and was theatrically released in the United States on February 27 by Warner Bros. Pictures. The film received mixed reviews from critics, with praise for the chemistry between Smith and Robbie, but criticism for its plot. It emerged as a box office success, grossing $158.8 million worldwide against a production budget of $50 million. Veteran con artist Nicky encounters novice grifter Jess, who tries to con him by seducing him and then threatening him with a fake jealous husband. After exposing the ruse, Nicky offers her guidance and later recruits her into his crew. In New Orleans, Jess proves herself by successfully executing several pickpocket operations. The two begin a romantic relationship, unsettling Nicky. His estranged father, Bucky, taught him to. Escalating bets with wealthy gambler Lee Yuan-se, eventually losing all of the money the crew has earned. To win it back, Nicky tells Se to pick any player on or off the field, and has Jess guess the player's jersey number. Distraught, Jess scans the field, sees a member of Nicky's crew wearing number 55, and realizes it is another con. They take Se for millions. Nicky later explains how Tse had been influenced to pick 55 from his arrival in New Orleans, with subtle, subliminal prompts throughout his stay. Afterward, Nicky abruptly parts ways with Jess, leaving her a share of the money and sending her away without explanation. 3 years later, Nicky resurfaces in Buenos Aires, hired by motorsport team owner Rafael Garriga to sabotage a rival team by selling them a faulty fuel-burning algorithm. There, he unexpectedly reunites with Jess, who is now romantically involved with Garriga. Nicky resumes pursuing her while secretly orchestrating a scheme to sell the real algorithm to multiple teams, including Garriga's top competitor, McEwen, for a large profit. Nicky and Jess are eventually captured with the money by Garriga's security team. To save Jess, Nicky claims he manipulated her to gain access to Garriga's computer. However, Jess reveals she was also running her own con to steal Garriga's watch. As tensions escalate, Garriga's head of security, Owens, shoots Nicky, causing a horrified Garriga to flee. It is revealed that Owens is actually Nicky's father, Bucky, and the shooting was a staged version of the Toledo panic button, a misdirection tactic. Bucky drives Nicky and Jess to the hospital to treat Nicky's wound. After warning that love is dangerous in their line of work, Bucky departs with all the money. Nicky and Jess reconcile, sharing a laugh over Jess having successfully stolen Garriga's $200,000 watch. They walk toward the hospital together, escalating bets with wealthy gambler Lee Yuan-se, eventually losing all of the money the crew has earned. To win: Will Smith as Nicky Spurgeon, Margot Robbie as Jess Barrett, Rodrigo Santoro as Rafael Garriga, Gerald McCraney as Bucky Owens, Adrian Martinez as Farhad, B.D. Wong as Lee Yuan-se, Robert Taylor as McEwen, Brennan Brown as Horst, Griff First as Gareth, Stephanie Honoré as Janice, Dominic Famusa as Jared Mikulski. Juan Minyajan as Marcelo. Focus was written and directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. Sleight-of-hand expert Apollo Robbins was hired as a consultant to choreograph the film's pickpocketing sequences. The directing duo, along with production designer Beth Mickle, conducted an initial location scouting trip to Buenos Aires, Argentina. A subsequent trip with producers Denise D. Novi and Mark Schoon finalized filming locations in the neighborhoods of San Telmo, Puerto Madero, Barracas, Retiro, Recoleta, and Palermo, as well as Ezeiza International Airport and several hotels. Editor Neil Smith noted at a 2013 Digital Cinema Society event that a major studio film was being edited entirely on Final Cut Pro X, later identified as Focus, making it one of the largest productions completed using the software. Citation needed. Casting. Edit. Will Smith and Margot Robbie were cast in the lead roles, with Smith portraying seasoned con artist Nicky and Robbie as his protégé Jess. Rodrigo Santoro, Gerald McCraney, and Adrian Martinez were cast in supporting roles. Filming. Edit. Principal photography began on September 14, 2013 in New Orleans. Production then moved to Buenos Aires on November 19, 2013, where it continued for 3 weeks before wrapping on December 10. The final leg of filming took place in New York City, concluding on December 17, 2013. Focus was written and directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. Sleight-of-hand expert Apollo Robbins was hired as a consultant to choreograph the film's pickpocketing sequences. The directing duo, along with production designer Beth Mickle, conducted an initial location scouting trip to Buenos Aires, Argentina. A subsequent trip with theatrical release. Edit. Focus was theatrically released in the United States and Germany on February 27, 2015. On January 29, 2015, Warner Bros. Pictures and IMAX Corporation announced that the film would also be released in IMAX theaters, digitally remastered using IMAX DMR technology. Home media. Edit. The film was released on Blu-ray, DVD, and Blu-ray/DVD combo pack on June 2, 2015, by Warner Home Video. Box office. Edit. Focus grossed $53.9 million in North America and $104.9 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $158.8 million against a production budget of $50.1 million. In the United States and Canada, the film earned $6.4 million on its opening day, $7.6 million on its second, and $4.6 million on its third, bringing its opening weekend total to $18.7 million from 3,323 theaters, with a per-theater average of $5,623. It debuted at number 1 at the box office. Internationally, the film was released in 39 markets during its opening weekend and grossed $12.2 million. Its top international markets included the United Kingdom, $13 million, Russia, $3.1 million, and the Netherlands, $1.8 million. Critical response. Edit. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, Focus holds an approval rating of 56% based on 228 reviews, with an average rating of 5.80/10. The website's critical consensus reads, "Focus may have a few too many twists and turns, but it nearly skates by on its glamorous setting and the charm of its stars." 16 on Metacritic. The film has a weighted average score of 56 out of 100, based on 42 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film a grade of B, on an A+ to F scale. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times described the film as sheer, escapist entertainment from start to finish. The Free Press Journal called the film smart, slick, but shallow. Nick DeSemlian of Empire wrote, "This is maximum gloss entertainment with its fair share of T-box office." Edit. Focus grossed $53.9 million. The soundtrack album was released on February 24, 2015, by Watertower Music. I'm a Man-Child. Uptown Funk Empire. Sofa Rockers Richard Dorfmeister Remix. Sofa Surfers. Please. Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Wind It Up. Stooges Brass Band. You Don't Have to Worry, Doris N. Kelly. Meet Me in the City, Junior Kimbrough. Sympathy for the Devil. The Rolling Stones. Gimme Danger. The Stooges. Chorra Los Mareados. La Espada de Cadorna. Mauro Albarelli, Fernando Diego Barrero, Maria Carla Flores, Fermin Echeveste, Manuel González Aguilar, Mateo González Aguilar and Carlos Maximiliano Russo. Jurley Hood. Ivan Diaz Mate, Jorge Estembenet, Sebastian Martinez, Francisco Olivero, Daniel Michel, Juan Manuel Mayer and Gala Iglesias Brickles featuring Camilo Castaldi Lira and Alberto Manuel Rodriguez. Corazón de Piedra, Te Amo. Alejandro Medina. White Bird, It's a Beautiful Day. Love Makes the World Go Round. Barbara Lewis. Focus Love Theme. Nick Urata. The Windmills of Your Mind. Ray Conniff and the Singers. Scalating bets with wealthy gambler Lee Yuan-se, eventually losing all of the money the crew has earned. To win it back, Nicky tells Tse to pick any player on or off the field, and has Jess guess the player's jersey number.
Subscribe to Cineplus Movie Channel. Like, share or comment. Thank you.